Deep in the ancient fog-shrouded wetlands, a primal silence hangs heavy over the twisted roots and stagnant waters, hiding secrets long forgotten by time and man. The air is thick with the scent of decay as the moon casts a ghostly glow upon a landscape where every shadow seems to breathe and watch. 5 brave warriors tread carefully through the treacherous mire, their torches flickering against the oppressive darkness that threatens to swallow their very souls with every step. Every splash of water feels like a scream in the silence as they search the impenetrable mist for a predator they can feel but cannot yet see. A heavy footfall lands not on stone but on something alive, something ancient and dormant that has waited for centuries beneath the mud to be disturbed once more. The earth itself begins to groan and shatter as a colossal presence beneath the swamp awakens, sending tremors through the muck and ice into the warriors' hearts. Suddenly, the peace is shattered by a violent eruption of filth and stone, as a nightmare from the depths rises to claim its place as the master. An ancient secret has been awakened, a titan of many legs and infinite hunger, towering over the puny mortals who dared to trespass upon its sacred domain. Through the swirling white haze, the first signs of the horror appear, hundreds of razor-sharp legs cutting through the air like scythes in a field of death. The multi-legged predator closes in, its movement a rhythmic dance of death that echoes through the trees, signaling the start of a hunt that no one survives. Without warning, the swamp claims its first victim, as a warrior is dragged into the bottomless depths by an unseen force that leaves only bubbles behind. Only a flickering light remains where a man once stood, a silent testament to the speed and brutality of the monster that now stalks the remaining survivors. Chaos erupts as the survivors flee for their lives, their panicked breaths white in the cold air while the behemoth shatters trees in its relentless, hungry pursuit. The armored hunter is a blur of obsidian and malice, its many-segmented body flowing over the terrain like a river of black ink, closing the gap instantly. Nowhere is safe as the environment itself crumbles under the weight of the beast, leaving the warriors trapped between the crushing mud and the coming steel storm. In a desperate stand, the warriors reach a clearing where the monster finally reveals its true, terrifying form under the full, cold gaze of the pale moon. 30 meters of armored terror stands before them, a living fortress of chitinous plates and 1,000 twitching limbs that move in a grotesque, rhythmic unison. The beast rears up, a monument of prehistoric fury that dwarfs the tiny men below, casting a shadow of certain doom across the blood-soaked mud of the swamp. A dozen crimson eyes burn with an ancient hatred, while its massive jaws click and snap, ready to tear flesh from bone with surgical and brutal precision. From its very breath comes death, a purple haze of toxic fumes that withers the life from the ground, suffocating the warriors before the first blow falls. The monster's roar is a mechanical scream that tears through the night, a sound of grinding metal and primal rage that echoes for miles in every direction. With courage born of desperation, the leader draws his blade, his voice a defiant thunder against the encroaching darkness. Rallying his men for one final stand, they strike back with the only weapon they have left, hurling jars of oil that shatter against the monster's iron-hard hide, preparing the ground for fire. A single spark transforms the nightmare into a pillar of fire as the creature is engulfed in a roaring blaze that illuminates the entire swamp in orange. Enraged and burning, the titan thrashes in agony, its massive form becoming a swirling cyclone of heat and light that threatens to burn everything to ashes. The lines are drawn in blood and fire as the battle for survival begins in earnest, where only the strongest will see the coming of the dawn. Men and monster collide in a frantic dance of steel and chitin as the warriors dodge lethal strikes to find the few weaknesses in the creature's armor. The clearing becomes a furnace of war, where every movement is a gamble against time and the creature's incredible, multi-jointed speed that defies all logic. The sound of metal on metal rings out as blades find their mark, drawing the creature's glowing, acidic blood that sizzles against the burning swamp floor. But the beast is not so easily defeated, using its massive length to sweep the battlefield and crush its attackers with the force of a falling mountain. In slow motion, the horror unfolds as the warriors are scattered like leaves in a storm, facing the gaping maw of a hungry, prehistoric deity of death. With every breath, the creature grows more frantic, its armor glowing red from the heat, while its strikes become more desperate and lethal with every passing second. The struggle is intimate and brutal, a desperate wrestle for life against a force of nature that knows no mercy and feels no pain in its fury. Seeing his chance, the leader leaps onto the back of the burning titan, scaling the jagged plates of armor like a man climbing a mountain of death. High above the chaos, he reaches the monster's weak point, his hands scorched by the heat, but his spirit fueled by the survival of his dying people. With a final heroic effort, he drives his weapon into the beast's very brain, delivering a killing blow that ignites the monster from the inside out. A final, agonizing shriek pierces the night as the behemoth begins its slow, thunderous descent into the mud, its reign of terror ending in a flash of fire. The great beast falls, its massive weight pulling it down into the blood-red mire as the silence of the swamp slowly returns to reclaim the dead. Its once impervious shell is now broken and gray, a hollow monument to a battle that will be sung of by the survivors for generations to come. As the first light of dawn touches the water, the true scale of the devastation is revealed, a landscape transformed by fire and ancient primal violence. The survivors stand tall amidst the ruins, their eyes weary but filled with the light of victory, having faced the darkness and emerged into the day. Though the cost was high, the threat is gone, and the morning sun brings a promise of peace that they haven't felt since the first scream. They leave the battlefield behind, but the memory of the thousand-legged terror will haunt the mud and the mist for as long as the swamp breathes. But deep in the shadows where the light never reaches, something even larger stirs in the muck, sensing the loss of its kin and hungry for revenge. For in this ancient place, the end of one nightmare is only the beginning of another, and the real war for the swamp has only just started.